Hi everybody and welcome back to Kevin's Upfront Opinion today. So today I thought I'd speak about what it's like to be a stepfather or a step parent at the end of the day. It doesn't really matter which way it is. Now, I first met my stepdaughter would have been late 2014. Okay. And when I look on my life, now I had a stepfather and my stepfather died when I was about 8 or 9, probably 9. I think he died in about 19. I'm probably going to get this wrong. 86 or 87. I still remember that day as clear as I can. And I don't generally remember a great deal about him. I remember bits and pieces about him. And if I went by everything my mum said, okay, and I'm not going to try and slate my mum too much. I mean that, okay, because obviously she's got her own serious health problems at the moment. Okay, but the thing I do remember was when I was 12, she blamed me for his death. And that thing, from when she said that, I held that against her for all my life since then. And I'm 47 this year, 47 in the beginning of August. Okay, and a lot of people say to me, "Oh, you should let it go and everything." And this video is not primarily about my mum. And I always remember my mum saying how awful I was to him, how hard I made it for him and everything. And my mum has had other people that have come into her life and everything. And then I became a step parent. And it's like, and I've always been a firm believer in karma. And as the old saying goes, karma's a bitch. Okay, and that's not a dig at my stepdaughter because she is a really nice girl. Okay, it's because I learned very quickly how difficult it can be to become to be a step parent and stepping in for somebody else. Now, some people say, yeah, but what about his father? Father wasn't on the scene. Father couldn't be bothered, to be honest. You know, he was a lousy father. And to be honest, in some respects, she pulled the short straw, extremely short straw. And I don't personally care if he finds out what I've said. He can come and see me anytime he likes, and I'll tell him it to his face. He's been a lousy father to her. Okay. But, so in some respects, because of how bad a father he's been to her, she whether she would want to admit to it or not, she did make life difficult for me. Okay, and I'm not about to complain and whine about that because it is what it is, and I understand that because I was no better when I was her age, and she probably didn't want me around at the time, and I'm still with her mother to this day. You know, 11 years on, but I learned how difficult it can be if you let it be that way. And over the years, we slightly improved our relationship. In some respects, we didn't. In other respects, we did. Okay, so one thing I would always say is it's like when you have your own children, which is slightly different. Okay, is you got to work at it, and you got to expect certain comments, which will always come at you. Now, one thing that I can say is neither her or her mother ever said, yeah, but she's not your child. People have said that, but neither one of them ever did say that. And I'm not about to mention the names of the people that have said that, and that's something that does always hurt when people go and say things like that. But I've always tried to treat her as one of my own children. So the reality is it difficult taking somebody on who's not actually your child? And the reality is, yes, it is. And in some respects, I would always say you have to go over and beyond what you would for your own children. Because if you don't, at some stage, it's going to come back to bite you, and they're going to say, yeah, but you treat me differently to all the rest of the kids and everything. Those comments get said. So I would always say, for anybody that's just starting, or they've just got involved with somebody and they've already got children, don't think about it and consider, can I do it? Because you can do it if you want to do it, okay? And you won't regret it, but you've got to accept it's not going to be easy, and it will be difficult at times. There will be challenges along the road, but if you're willing to accept that, I can honestly say from my own personal experience, it is worth it at the end of the day. So I hope this helps somebody out who's maybe considering it, or has just got into a relationship with somebody who's already got children. So I'm not going to ramble on for ages today or anything. So obviously, anybody who is new to the channel, if you could please, obviously, like I always say, please do subscribe or follow, because I always try to every day put out more content. But for now, thanks for watching. I'll speak to you all again a bit later.